revisions, and then we'll go for next point, that is some act it has been used in industry. So yesterday we have gone through the preventive measures of accident, what is the accident, causes of the accident, and safety measures uh, acts is used in industry. So this is a very simple things. Accidents means unfortunately things will happen, and unexpected thing also happens in industry, resulting damage or injuries to that person. So main causes of accidents: unsafe act, habits or careless, unsafe conditions in that environment, mentally conditions of that persons, maybe physically injury, handicap, etc. Physical conditions of the workers, and safety measures, factory acts, what should be there, the fencing to the machinery, prohibited young persons and the special purpose machines, women and child, prohibited from the rotating types of machinery, excessive weight should not be handled, and there should be certain things actually we required to protect our eyes. So this is the points we have covered in the last lecture. Okay. Now, after this, precautions against dangerous fumes, gases, etc. This point is there. Precautions regarding the electrical light and precautions regarding the fire. These are the common things always we use in industry. Should be away from the fire, should be away from the electrical short circuits, should be away from the fumes, heat. So these points actually require some factory measurements act in industry. So after this, we go to the minimum wages systems, and this is one of the acts actually set by the government of India in 1936. So what is this? We're going to see. So this 2 points are there. Minimum Wages Act 1936. So this is the 1936. And one more act is there, 1948. So let us first we consider Minimum Wages Act actually passed in our parliament in 1936. So under this first point, employees number less than 1,000, we pay wages on the seventh day. So this is the first act. Employees number So those industry having the employees number less than 1,000, it is expected to pay their wages on seventh day of a week. This is the first act, okay, which is actually passed in 1936 in Parliament. Okay. Now, second, if the number of employees are more than 1,000, then uh, the wage means daily works, whatever amount is there, that need to pay on 10th day. Then next, terminated case claims within 2 days. If any workers will get terminated, then he has to make claim within the 2 days. So at point number three, terminated. So if any workers may get terminated, such case is there, and if that workers make to claim, then he has to make that claim within the 2 days after terminate. So this is the third point. Wages must be in coin or currency. This is the old acts, 1936, means the daily amounts, wages actually daily amount need to pay, and salary that is monthly. So wages may be in coin or currency, not any other thing. This is actually act developed in 1936. Deductions for fines. So here's so deductions for fines under this absence without permission. Means you have to deduct certain fine from that worker's wages if that workers will remain absent without permission. Absent without permission. If any workers will remain absent without permissions, then we have to deduct certain amounts as a fine from his daily wage system. Smoking at prohibited place. So, smoking prohibited. smoking at prohibited place, if it is there, if anybody will get smoke or smoking and in the premises of industry, then need to pay certain fine, and that should be deducted from his daily wage. So this is the thing actually we expected. Negligence of duty. Negligence of duty, if deliberately somebody is doing that work less than expected, there is a negligence, then he has to fine, and that amount need to deduct from his daily amounts. Then causing factory damage. Somebody will damage something in factory, need to pay fine, and that amount will deduct from his salary. This is the act in 1936. Causing factory damages. Any parts in the premise of industry, it will get damaged by that person, and there is also fine. The money of fines, whatever fines we have collected, that fines should be utilized for benefits of workers, intense deduction for service, deduction for advance, loans, insurance, TDS, and others the facility actually we required to that worker. And if anybody will violate this type of act or rules, then that person he has to go in jail for 6 months, and fine he has to pay 500 rupees. So this is the minimum wages act in 1936. Okay. So once again I will repeat, this is one law passed in Parliament in 1936 regarding the Minimum Wages Systems Act related to the workers. First point, if employees in that industry, if it is less than 1,000, then the daily amount, that is called wages systems, that pay that amount on the seventh day of that week. If that number of workers are more than 1,000, then the amount, that is called wage, we have to pay on 10th day of that particular working day. Now, if because of some reasons, if any workers will get terminated later, then he has certain authority to make claim within the 2 days. Then next, the wages he has to pay in terms of coin or currency, not any other thing. Either we have to pay coin or make use of currency, just like the rupees. Then fine is there. So many fines need to collect from the workers from the industry because of following reason. If the workers will remain absent without any permission, then he has to pay fine. If any worker is smoking in the industrial premises, then he has to pay fine. Negligence of duty, is not taking care of his duty, then he has to pay fine. Then because of some damages in the industry, maybe instruments or machine parts, so anything will get damaged by that person, then he has to pay fine. So whatever fine collected by the industry, again this time they the industrial persons or owner of that industrial person, he has to utilize for the worker service advance deductions, loan for deduction of the loans of that workers, insurance of that workers, TDS deduction purpose, means whatever collected fine, again that owner of that industry or the owner of that organization, he has to utilize for the benefit of that worker in the group. So this is the act. Now, if anybody will violate this minimum wages act, then that head of the organizations, he has to go in jail for 6 months, and there is 500 rupees fine is there. So this is a very old law, but it is given in our syllabus. That's why uh, this statement we have to put in our the syllabus related the concept. Okay, but nowadays there is a wide variations in the this minimum wages act 1936. Okay, so very simple things are there. Once again, I will repeat and then we'll go to the next point. Those organizations having less than hundreds, 1,000 workers, then on seventh day of that week, they need to pay that amount that is called wage system or wages to that particular workers. If it is more than 10th day, organizers, the head of the organizer need to pay on the 10th day. Terminate case is there, then the workers or those has logged that terminate, he has to make the claim within the 2 days. Then wages should be only in coin or currency, not any other thing. Now, sometimes in industry, person will remain absent without permission, need to pay fine. Sometimes person will get smoking in prohibited place in the industrial premises, need to pay fine. Negligence about duty, need to pay fine. Damage of the any instrument, equipment, machinery, that person need to fine. And whatever the fine amounts to be collected, again it has been used for beneficial of that worker. Maybe TDS deduction, maybe insurance, maybe deduction in loan, maybe deduction in advance, bonus, motivational things. For this purpose, this fine amount it has been used. Okay. First, we have to collect the fine because of these four reasons. After that same amount, we have to utilize for the benefit of the worker. Okay, so this is actually Minimum Wages Act 1936. Okay, now we go to the Minimum Wage 1948. So 1948 Minimum Wages Act. So in this act, the minimum wages bill was introduced in the Central Parliament Assembly in April 1948. Uh, Main objective of this bill to prevent exploitations of labor through the payment of unduly low wages system. So some problems in our industry. Uh, Somebody will pay as per their wish. Somebody suppose doing some the helper work in industry, somebody will pay 200 rupees, somebody will pay 300 rupees, like this. So various variations is there. But under this law, the government has decided to fix the minimum wages. Means minimum 200 you have to get it fixed. More than this you can pay, but at least minimum 200, like this. This is the example. Now regarding this uh, payment of minimum wages. So here I will write payment of minimum payment of minimum wages. First one, wages in kind. Wages in kind. The wages shall be paid in cash through the appropriate government can authorize the payment of minimum wages wholly and totally in kind. Means state governments or central governments uh, should pay the wages in cash, and that is the minimum amount what actually government has decided. Okay, so here's the minimum amount, minimum amount paid by government. Paid by government. So, although the appropriate government can authorize the payment of minimum wages wholly and totally in kind. The minimum amount need to pay. So this is the first point under this labels law. Then second, payment of minimum rates of wages. Next point, payment of minimum rate of wages. So next point is that the employer shall pay wages to every employee at rate not less than minimum rate of wages fixed. So first government will decide how much will going to pay. Then payment should be minimum, okay, not less than the rate what actually decided by the government. Then next, fixing hours for normal working day. Normal working day. So minimum working day 6 in week. To fix minimum rate of wages, government may fix this number of hours for normal working day, inclusive of one or more specified interval, one holiday in week. Just like present situation, once in week holiday is there. Why this holiday? Because it is normally working day decided by the government. Specific interval will be there. Specific working hours will be there. Yesterday we have seen 48 hours in once in week should be there. Then here's overtime. Fourth point is overtime. Overtime. If anybody is doing overtime, then he has to pay that amount double of the normal wages system. Yesterday we have seen that if anybody will work other than working hours, then he has to pay the amount double of that normal wages system. Then worker who works for less than normal working day. If anybody will work less than normal working day. So related to this clause is there. Less than normal working. Now there is one clause is there when an employee whose minimum rate of wages has been fixed by a day workers on any day for shorter period than required number of hours he shall be entitled to receive the wages for full normal working day. So less than if any workers will do the particular work less than normal working day. And if genuine reason is there, then he will get the whole day's amount. That is the minimum amount what that government has decided. Okay. And due to some genuine reason, maybe failure of the works or the health problem is there, like these things are there as a humanity, we have to consider that. Okay. Now next is wages for two or more class of work. 6 point. Means one man cannot work more than one industry. Means he has to work in only one industry. He will not work in two industry. Uh, Daytime he is working in one industry. In night he is working in some other industry. It will not be accepted. Means that man only need to work in only one industry. This is that. Then minimum time rate wages for piece work. Nowadays, this case is happening in industry. Minimum time rate wages for piece work. Time rate, minimum time rate wages for piece work. So in industry there is fixed time and fixed work piece. Means on basis of the job, the salary or wages system it has been decided. But that is also minimum. Means if any job is there, time required to finish the job is 2 hours as per standard. And that 2 hours, 300 rupees is required per piece. Then he has to pay that. If more than that, then also he has to pay. So here minimum time rate wages for piece where an employee is employed on piece work for which minimum time rate piece work per job how much rupees and how much time and not a minimum piece rate has been fixed under this act. So in this, for particular job, minimum rate is not fixed. It is depends upon the organizer or industry owners. The employer shall pay to such employees wages not less than minimum time rate. So time rate system is there for 2 hours this month, 3 hours this month, and within that, if anybody will produce the more than expected job, then also he has to pay. So this is the piece rate system and time rate system. The either you have to follow the minimum time rate system or piece work system. 4 piece this much, 2 piece this much, 3 piece this much, or 2 hours this much, 3 hours this much. But all this should be minimum, which is decided by the government. So these are the 7 points. It will comes under the Minimum Wages Act 1948. 1948. Once again, I will repeat and then I will go to the last point of the chapters. So wages in kinds. So minimum amount pay. Actually, that rate has been decided by the governments individually or in that area persons. So this is the wages in kind. What actually government need to follow this rule. The payment of minimum rate wages. Everybody has to pay with the minimum rate of wages system. Normal working day need to fix, maybe holiday in a week. Overtime actually need to give, but that amount we have to make double of the uh, 1 day's wage. Then if any genuine reason is there, health problem is there, and if any worker is working less than normal working day, then also that factory owners, he has to pay the whatever amount fixed by the government. Now, any worker, next our point is there, if any persons will work uh, more than one industry, 2 or 3 industry class of work, it should not be allowed. The last point is that the minimum time rate wages for piece work means time rate system is there. Then within that time rate system, how many pieces need to produce accordingly, the minimum wages should be there. 2 hours, it is expected to complete 4 pieces, but 2 hours, if that person will not complete that 4 piece, even though you have to give the minimum amount what actually government has decided. Okay, so this is the 1948. So this is also old act. Nowadays the situation is different, but this is the part of our syllabus. That's why we have covered. These are the 7 points. Minimum wage rate system. It has been decided by the government. Need to give every worker more than this you can give. There should be normal working times. If overtime is there, then you can make it double. Less than normal time, if anybody is working because of any genuine reason, even though that factory owners need to pay that amount, then one single workers will not work more than one industry. Then time rate system is there. Then within the time, this much component will produce, you can pay. But if it is less than this because of certain what we say that contingency parts or the unexpected things will happen within that times, even though we will have to pay the minimum amount. So this is the minimum wages system in 1948. So here's I will explain in briefs once again, and then we'll go to the next one. So Minimum Wages Act 1948. The minimum wages bill was introduced in the Central Legislative Assembly in April 1948. Main objective of this to prevent exploitations of labor through the payments of unduly low wages system. The minimum payments wages are first point wages in kind. The wages shall be paid in cash. Means we have to pay in cash. Although the appropriate government can authorize, appropriate government, the state government can authorize the payment of minimum wages whole and total in kind. Means that state government having particular authority to fix the minimum wage systems in their state. The next payment of minimum rates of wages. The employer shall pay wages to every employee at a rate not less than minimum rate of wages fixed. So whatever minimum wages fixed, the industry owner should not pay less than this. Minimum, suppose the government has decided 200, the industry people anyhow minimum he has to pay 200, not less than this. Fixing hours for normal working day. To fix the minimum rate of wages, government will help in this case. Fix the number of hours for normal working day inclusive of not or more specified intervals and one holiday and week. So here's nowadays it is going on one holiday in week and fixed interval is there. Overtime is there. For overtime, worker shall be paid overtime's allowance at a rate fixed either under this act or any laws of appropriate government imposed, which is the hour. Normally, government has decided in Maharashtra, it has been decided to pay the overtimes double of a day wages. This is the act in Maharashtra. Worker who will work less than normal working day. Suppose 8 hour shift is there, but because of any genuine reason, if any worker is not doing any work, then also the company owners need to pay the minimum amount to that worker. Okay. Then if any worker is doing the work more than two, three industry, this is not allowed. He has to work in only one industry. Then last ones, that is the minimum time rate wages for piece work, where an employee is employed on piece work for which minimum time rate. Sometimes piece work system is there, and for that also minimum time rate is there, and not minimum piece rate has been fixed. Time is there important. Under this act, employer shall pay to such employees wages not less than minimum time rate. In such piece hour system is there. If you do 200 jobs, then you will get this. 300 jobs, you will get this. Or you have to get it complete these jobs within the given time. But for this, the minimum wages, what actually government has decided, should not below this. So this is our Minimum Wages Act in 1948. Now let us we go to the last part of the chapter, Employees State Insurance Act 1948. So Employees State Insurance Act 1948. This is called ESIC. Employee state insurance corporations like this were long term is that. So it is the self-financing social security and health insurance scheme for Indian workers. So what is this? It is a self-financing social security and health insurance scheme for Indian workers. So this is applicable only for Indian workers related to the health and having self-finance. The employer contributes 3.25%, that is the organizer. Means industry contribution is there 3.25. The employees contribution is 0.75, serviceman, and who are eligible for this, that is I will going to write. So this is the self-finance health insurance scheme. This is the self-finance financing health. So here applicable to Indian workers. Self-finance. So here employees contribution. Employees. So here's self-finance health insurance scheme is there for Indian workers. In that, employers, mean the organizer or owner of that industry, he has to pay 3.25% of his wage or of his salary. And employees means workers' contribution is there from his salary or wages. He has to deduct 0.75%. So this scheme is eligible for those having monthly income, including overtimes, then hours leave encashment does not exceeding 21,000 per month. All central and state government also give the grants and donations in fund. So this fund, this scheme actually developed or passed in 1948. It is very old scheme is that, and this scheme is applicable to those employee having the monthly salary should not cross the more than 21,000 per month. Means that person's salary should not be more than 21,000 for that worker. This scheme is applicable. It including bonus, then overtime, encashment, everything. So this point is very important. Your salary should not be fixed. Monthly amount of that particular worker should not cross the more than the 21,000. That workers are eligible for this scheme. Okay, not but nowadays the case is very different. And this employees insurance corporations uh, getting getting some grant and donations, uh, grant and donations from the state or central government also. So here central government land is there, and so state and central government we give some grant or donation as a fund. So
Okay, but
this grant or donation is required as a fund. So apart from the employer's contribution and employees' contribution, state governments and central governments will give certain fund to this health or employee state insurance corporation. And what is the importance of this? These schemes will get benefit to sickness. Anybody will get sick, a workers, family or workers will get benefit to this. Then maternity leaves for this purpose, this will use. Permanent disability part is there for this purpose money will get. Medical facility to family through this you will get. Any hospitals or dispensary expenditure through this will get. Payment of fees and salary and expenses to the officers and servant of the corporation for others matter also. And through this, the payments you will get to the officer and servant of the corporation. The corporation can sell, hold, or transfer any movable or immovable property, invest in a loan which is not immediately required, raise the loan. Employees necessary staff for this administration of the business. Means through this insurance scheme, you will get the loan for property also, hospital also, sickness purpose also, and whatever actually you need to do, this education, your children's education purpose also, through this you will get the amount. So that's why this scheme is applicable in industry. Nowadays the situation is different. Still the provident part is there, and that part we can utilize for our workers' benefits. But this 1948, they have developed this type of act. This is the beneficence to the workers. Those salaries are less than 21,000. Employer share is 3.25. Employee share is 0.75. And some grant will get from the state and central government. Whatever fund will collected, this fund will utilize for the benefit of the worker, maybe hospital benefit, maybe permanent disability, maternity leaves, and any dispensary or any home loans or any other things purpose. This Employee State Insurance Act will help to the workers. So this is about uh, our economics and industrial safety. So we have covered the total points in these lectures and previous 7, 8 lectures. So next time we'll go for summary of ergonomics and industrial safety, and there is the end of our first section. Then we'll go for next sections, that is the work measurement. So with this, we conclude this because our time is over. We'll stop here. Once again, I am thankful to all of you. Thank you. We'll stop here.